Welcome back. Now, in a dramatic turn of events, the Lagos State House of Assembly has removed its long-serving Speaker, Mudashiru Obasa, marking the end of his almost decade-long leadership of the state's legislative chamber over alleged misappropriation of funds and lack of transparency in the management of the assembly. Now, the House voted to impeach Obasa in absentia, subsequently electing Deputy Speaker representing Apapa 1 constituency, Mojisola Lasbat Miranda, as the first female speaker in the history of the Lagos State House of Assembly. Obasa has actually been embroiled in a series of controversies concerning his handling of the assembly and the finances of the state legislature, including his authorization of 43.5 billion naira for lawmakers' backup vehicles and other controversial expenditure. It's also an open secret that he had also been at loggerheads with the state governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu over issues of political control after he rejected 17 of the governor's 39 commissioner nominees that would be not quite long ago. Now, last year, I should say. Now, the situation necessitated an intervention from the governor's advisory council to resolve it. Although Obasa had publicly denied any writ, he allegedly displayed open disrespect for the governor during the 2025 budget presentation in the state just a few weeks ago, I should say, where he also seized the opportunity to hint at his own political plans, including a possible shot at the governorship in 2027. Now, just for the records, here is what the former speaker said about his political ambition during that budget presentation. Take a listen.
To the blackmailers who have to embark on the mission to distort and redefine our mission, let me state it unequivocally here. Our intention is to promote our party on the platform of mandate. Also, becoming governor is secondary. It is something that I have not given a serious consideration. Nevertheless, that does not mean I am too young or lack experience to run, whereas those who have been before me are not better. In addition, it is also important to correct the impression from naysayers who have been insinuating that I may claim to seek for blood relation in a job to validate my candidacy to run as governor. Of course, I have never denied the fact that I am Obasa, but rather I have never claimed to be related to Odipoyi, Oniru, or any popular Lagos family, as the case may be. I can indeed never run from the fact that I am related to my Obasa family in Ojo, but I do not need local validity to contest or run. If I officially am contesting, I will do so from Agege.
Well, now that speech might be the final straw that broke the camel's back for Obasa, because, I mean, for a budget presentation and the speaker going on to make that kind of speech, well, what can I say? Anyway, Lagos State now has a new speaker, and for Obasa, his political future remains uncertain. Let's try to unpack all of this now with political affairs analyst Taiwo Olopade, who joins us here in the studio. Taiwo, thank you very much for coming on the show. Let's start with that speech by the former speaker now. First off, something happened that day during the budget presentation. You could see that Obasa wore dark glasses and got the entire members of the House to wear dark glasses on that day. What message were they trying to send?
Well, thank you very much. Number one, the speaker, the former speaker now, Mudashiru Obasa, for me, overrated himself politically. And one of the political leaders in the APC in Lagos State, Mr. Fuad Oki, also described Obasa that it was becoming larger than life. And for that reason,
he was a powerful speaker.
Of course, no doubt about that. Because if for him to have served close to 10 years, he was elected on 3 occasions as the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly. And you and I know that if you're in the position of a Speaker in Lagos State, it's as if you are a governor of some other states. That's the way it is categorically. And by being number 3, in Lagos State shows that you are also very relevant in the scheme of things, politically and otherwise in the state. However, coming back to your question, for the speaker, number one, or former speaker, I keep repeating speaker, for him to have, well, should I say encouraged?
Because you could get a sense that they were spoiling for a fight on that the budget presentation.
Even by the tonation of his speech, he was reacting after the governor presented his speech, the budget 2025 to the State House of Assembly for consideration and passage. Of course, the normal routine is for the speaker to also react and commend the governor, say they will do due diligence,
talk about budget.
That should have been what we were expecting him to talk about, rather than now deviating, talking about his political ambition, 2027. No one says he doesn't have the right to contest. Of course, by virtue of being a six-timer in the House of Assembly, he has been there since 2003. And he happens to be the longest serving as we speak right now in the House of Assembly, even the most experienced. Nobody is taking that away from him. But for him to have made that statement is a wrong place to make such a statement.
And then sounding, I mean, in the course of that speech, he also said something like, the House cannot be intimidated. He was actually belligerent, as if, you know, that there was clearly a problem between him and the executive, especially the governor.
Well, clearly, he really went offline. Because ordinarily, we are talking about budget presentation, 2025 budget. The reaction should have focused more or centered around the topic of the discourse. Why were you deviating? That you should have, you know, find another opportunity, another forum, or, you know, to speak about your ambition. And for him to have also said at that budget presentation in his reaction that he doesn't think that we have had a governor better than him in Lagos State. Who was he referring to? Referring to our current president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, referring to former governor of the state, SAN, Baba Jide Fashola, or Babatunde Raji Fashola, or even talking about Governor Kiwumi Ambode. That was unnecessary. That was totally unnecessary. Already, you have created a problem for yourself by making the governor to sit for almost about 4 hours. And I'm still waiting for the former speaker to deny this, because this was even before the impeachment saga. People have been talking about it that is unusual and is uncalled for, and is even something very very new to our environment in Lagos State, because we have what we have ever seen in the past is the Speaker or the House of Assembly working in tandem with the governor of the state or with the executive arm of government. And that's where we can see growth and development in whether Lagos State or any state, as the case may be. But in a case when you knew quite all right that there will be a visitor to the House of Assembly on that fateful day, what we normally see, the normal experience should have been, you, after coming into the chamber for the plenary, after about 5-10 minutes, you announce that we have to suspend. Okay, a member of the House will rise and say, at this point, I want to suggest that we should suspend plenary.
Rather, the proceedings of the House just went on,
visitor,
even when the governor
you know,
came in.
he just went on, and even made the governor to start, you know, and even along with the GSC members, that while the visitors to the House of Assembly on that fateful day, that was uncalled for. Why did he do that? That's unnecessary. You want
but do you think his removal can only be tied to what happened in the House during the budget presentation, or could there be other issues as well? Because we understand that, look, when the president came back during the Christmas holidays, you know, that members of the GAC went to the president to report the speaker, report his attitude and all of that. Don't forget, we had this issue of commissioner nominees. We had the issue of the suspension of local government chairman. We, you know, a local government chairman. Now we had that issue of
even
not being able
LASEC
to set up LASEC. Exactly.
Yeah.
So could you speak to those?
Well, excuse me, even before the president came in for the Yuletide celebration in December, the GAC members, the Governor's Advisory Council, on two occasions, they summoned a meeting to find an amicable resolution to this crisis. Unfortunately, the former speaker was not yielding, was not shifting ground. And surprisingly, the matter was reported, just like you said, to Mr. President, because the president, as the father of the nation, he cannot also watch, to allow his legacies in Lagos State to be ridiculed or to be affected negatively. The president came in for a Christmas and New Year celebration, and he also summoned another meeting of the GAC in which the former speaker was also present. The story we heard was that the former speaker was recalcitrant, and I'm still waiting again for him to deny this, whether allegation or the comments that he also misbehaved even before the Mr. President. So at that point, what exactly will he hold on to? He had opportunity twice with the GAC members, and again another golden opportunity with Mr. President to reconcile them and ensure that they work pari passu, they work together for the betterment of over 20 million residents of this state. But sadly, the comment that we heard from that meeting was that the former speaker was not ready to shift ground, was still, not behaving as a leader, even when we had Mr. President.
What do you think is his political future now?
Well, for politicians,
there's no doubt that he wants to contest for 2027. Do you see that happening now again?
Well, it will be a magic for him to realize that ambition. I want to say his impeachment has really cut short that ambition of either contesting, not to talk of winning the ticket of the All Progressive Congress come 2027, because I'm not sure how somebody who has been impeached at that level of political hierarchy will come back, will stage a comeback and win the party's ticket. It will be another wonder of another century. And again, what should we even be talking about is, when is he going to return from his vacation in Atlanta in the US? And is he coming back to also report back to the House of Assembly?
But that's
is he coming back to also want to go to the court to challenge his impeachment? Because I've also listened to some conversation that how come that he was impeached without his presence, without his being around in the State House of Assembly, that that impeachment is null and void. I've listened to some lawyers, I've listened to some political analysts saying that Obasa still has the right because it was not given a fair
do you think he might go to court to challenge this?
Well, that is not that's not impossible, because some people were saying that the man was not given a fair hearing. That how can you barb somebody's head behind his back? Like they say in Yoruba land, you can't you can't shave somebody's hair in his absence. So some people are saying that, but it depends on what the law says as regards impeachment, particularly,
and whether he would want to exercise that right to go to court.
Well, that's until he returns to the country. But for me, I predict that I don't see the former speaker, Mudashiru Obasa, number one, returning back to the Lagos State House of Assembly to take a back seat. I recall that when we returned to democratic rule in 1999, we had Olorunbe Mamora as the first speaker, 1999 to 2003. Then Jokutola Pelumi, succeeded him. Jokutola Pelumi was only speaker for almost about 2 years, between 2003 to 2005. Jokutola Pelumi, when he was impeached in December, I remember, in 2005, Right Honorable Adeyemi Ikuforeji was elected both from Ekpe constituency 1 and Ekpe constituency 2. But Jokutola Pelumi still, he was able to overcome the, I don't want to say shame this time around. He completed his tenure. But I don't see in this circumstance of Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, I don't
so you don't see him resuming in the House as an ordinary member?
I don't see him coming back, resuming as ordinary floor member and take a back seat in this same Lagos State House of Assembly. Well,
we'll just wait and see. Thank you very much, Taiwo Olopade, for coming on the program and for sharing your thoughts with us. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for having me.
We'll take a short break and we'll be right back. Stay with us, don't go away. Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal. How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
When you go into public office, you must be ready to answer to the people.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On DEJI360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
DEJI360, dissecting the issues.